Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/entitled people. In today's episode, my grandmother tried to steal my apartment and make me go back to my parents so she could punish me. Friend wants to use me as her backup ATM. Update: friend wants to use me as her backup ATM. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. My grandmother tried to steal my apartment and make me go back to my parents so she could punish me. I'm 29 and had been dealing with this for some time, but recently this became ridiculous. My grandmother is the most special person I ever knew, and with special, I mean one of the most frustrating, entitled, narcissistic, condescending on earth. She believed that she is the matriarch of the family, the highest authority that we all must obey, and for that, she had done a lot of things to all the family over the years, and recently I became her main objective. A couple months ago she organized a family meeting on her house, believing it was just a family meal. We all went, and when everyone were there, she revealed her true intentions. It was a trap. Apparently someone told my grandmother that I was dating a girl, my girlfriend, and basically she exposed me to all the family. In that moment, I haven't even told my parents about it yet. The following 30 minutes were a non-stop humiliation in front of all my family, saying how a failure I was, a shame to the family, a sinner, and how embarrassed she was that all her church's friends knew I was a shameless pervert. When I couldn't take her shit anymore, I got up from my chair, just to be slapped in the face by her for disrespecter. After seeing that the rest of the family finally intervened, getting her apart before she tried to pull my hair. The following weeks, she was nothing more than a constant headache. Endless calls and text messages, telling me such beautiful things as that I will burn for my sins, that I was a disgrace, that I should stop fooling around and correct my life. She even lectured my parents, demanding that they correct me, to make me quit my job and find a husband, because that was the right thing to do and what I should be doing. Also, she took every chance she got to say how evil and selfish I was for ruining her good image. Last Saturday she outdid herself. While I was in my apartment, there was a knock on the door, and when I opened it, I saw that it was her. By that point I was no longer trying to hide my displeasure from her and I just said, it's you, what do you want? Without being invited to come in, she went into my house, began to look around the place with an obvious gesture of disgust and disapproval on her face, and then turned to see me with that look of superiority, as if she were doing me a favor just for being there. She told me that she had already given me more than enough time to reconsider and correct my life, so she was there so that I could apologize to her. I just laughed sarcastically and told her that she was crazy and that she could go now. She then started lecturing me with the same speech again, but I didn't take it. I interrupted her and let out all the things I've wanted to tell her for a long time. That she was a stupid old witch, that she was not an authority figure to anyone, that her presence alone ruins our day, that nobody can stand her. That she is such a horrible and suffocating grandmother and mother, that she should not make it strange that none of her children love her or visit her unless she forces them to. I knew I had hurt her by the way she tensed her face and how she tried to hide the tears in her eyes. It was then that she said, "Enough, I can see that you don't understand the good way, so I will have to correct you in the old way. Give me the keys to this place, you will return to your parents and you will be grounded until you learn to obey and do what I ordered." I still had the keys in my hand from when I opened the door, to which she extended hers, as if waiting for me to give them to her. I laughed. I laughed out loud. This was too ridiculous that I couldn't take it seriously. And apparently that made her so mad that she lunged at me, trying to grab my keys. We struggled, there were screams, things falling out of place. The witch got to the point of digging her nails into my arms and biting my hands. The scandal was such that a couple of neighbors went out to see what was going on, and when my grandmother saw them she started shouting that I was a thief and was trying to rob her house. Obviously, they didn't believe him, they were my neighbors, they knew me. They separated her from me, and when she saw that they did not believe her, and that I would not obey her, she threatened me with "Your parents will know about this," and left. Since then, she had been telling to everyone how it insulted her and violently attacked her. We all know her, we all know she is a liar, she just makes everyone live harder. Slapped you at 29. What are you waiting for to go no contact? This relationship needs to end. In case you are depending on her financially, your freedom and well-being not worth her money. No contact. I don't depend on her in any way. Me, my mother and all the family had tried NC before, but just never work. Yeah, you need to call the cops and get ahead of this. She will get you charged and arrested to force you into what she wants. Call the cops and press charges. Get your neighbors to make statements. Don't leave this. Also set up a doorbell camera. If you do nothing, then you are asking for more trouble. I'm going to buy the cameras. Knowing her is just matter of time for her to show here again. OP also needs a camera inside in case she shoves her way inside again. Call the police. Press charges, your neighbors or witnesses, and file a restraining order. You should have called the police the second she attacked you and pressed charges. That's the only thing that old bat will understand. Press charges. Get a restraining order. Block her phone number. Go no contact. Never see her ever again as much as you can help it. You made 4 mistakes. You didn't slap her back when she slapped you the first time. You didn't block her phone number or that of her flying monkeys. You didn't block the door with your foot so she couldn't get in your apartment in the first place. You didn't hoof her in the box when she attacked you the second time. Normally I regard violence as a last resort, but some people just need a slap pin. Start defending yourself or she'll continue walking all over you. Start at r/justKnowMIL, there's a ton of resources on there to help you shine your spine. If you didn't call the police after she attacked you, call now. You need a restraining order against her. Blood relatives or not. P.S. Next time anyone slaps you, hit back. Punch in the breast if you are feeling charitable, in the nose if you've had enough. Put up cameras, catch her acting like this on film, and then show all her so-called friends how she really is. Narcissists can't stand to be revealed for the liars that they are. Just to be slapped in the face by her for disrespect her. And it would be that point when I would slap her right back as hard as I could. Friend wants to use me as her backup ATM. Next month I am going away on vacation with a longtime friend F. We are going to the Caribbean for 5 nights. It is not all inclusive, so we will be responsible for paying for food, drinks, and any activities. She asked me how much was I bringing in cash. I said $300 cash plus debit and credit cards. She told me she is going to bring $300 cash but no debit or credit cards. She said she is on a budget and $300 is her limit. I explained that comes around to only $60 per day. This is not one of the cheaper Caribbean islands, so food and drink alone won't leave her with much left over. I reminded her that she needs to factor in cabs, incidentals, or any activities we may decide to do. And you never know if an emergency will come up where she will need money. She says to me, "That is why I have you," and started to laugh. That pissed me off to no end. I tell her that we are both adults who are responsible for our own selves. It would be one thing if she lost her purse and needed money. I would float her money before she even had time to ask. But to purposely use me as her backup ATM is not going to work. I told her now that I know what she is up to, I'm not going to go along with it. If she runs out of money, she will just be asked out and hungry. She needs to bring her cards with her for her own good. She is now telling me I am too harsh and she will bring extra money but no cards. I told her to do what she wants, but if there is an emergency, she is on her own. We will need an update for when she spends all her cash in the first 2 days and starts begging. My friend brought a jar of peanut butter and a bag of pot to 3-day music festival and didn't pitch in for gas or anything of ours he ate. He is not a friend anymore. I meant it when I said she is on her own. She can call the same friends who are telling her I'm being unreasonable. Let me recap if I may. Your friend, and I think you are using the term incorrectly, told you she plans on using you to cover her expenses. When you told her no, she then said she'd bring a bit more but no cards to cover her costs. I doubt you can get out of the trip, but she will expect you to cover every cab and get rounds of drinks. We've all known this type. Demand money up front before you even get in a taxi. Under no circumstances open a tab at a bar you go to. Do not allow her to charge anything to the room, in fact insist she bring a card to put on file because you know she's going to use your money if it's on file. When ordering at restaurants, she will need to show cash up front. Basically this trip is ruined and your friendship probably is as well. But you must make a choice, either she pays and you end up miserable but have your money, or you pay and end up miserable out a bunch of cash. This sucks hard, but NTA. Lucky she warned you, so you could set your boundaries. Have fun, hope she doesn't sulk. $300 for a 5-day trip, sorry, but no way. Tips for taxi/ride share drivers, bellboys, housekeeping, waitstaff, etc. alone will eat half of her cash rapidly. This must be her first vacation trip to a Caribbean resort. She's ignorant AF, or she's planning to be super mooch. There's an old adage, before leaving on vacation you should put your suitcase and wallet on your bed. Take out half the clothes, get double the cash. If it was an all-inclusive resort, maybe it'd be barely enough. But no way otherwise. Ditch her now. She's just going to ruin the trip for you eventually. Be ready for her to say over and over that she's just happy to sit on the beach, drinking water, and staying in at night. Because that's all she'll be able to afford. Why anyone would intentionally go on a trip knowing they're way short on cash is just puzzling. Yup, I can see her saying that. I have no problem leaving her by herself. I have vacationed solo in the past, so I am comfortable going to restaurants and places solo. It's good you nipped it in the bud. She can't say you didn't warn her when she runs out of money. As for cabs and Uber, before you board, let he know she Cash App or alternate in paying via Uber app. 'Cause she will run out of money. Something tells me the only Uber she'll get on is the back of a bike with the word Uber painted on the frame XD. Opie, I am so sorry you are going on a vacation with this person. Your friend is giving me Anna Delvey vibes, so please make sure you don't cash out for her. You will not see that money again. Update, friend wants to use me as her backup ATM. Update, thanks to everyone for your feedback and suggestions. It truly did save the vacation. I'll hit the highlights. Some of you said that the hotel would want a credit card on file from the person who made the reservation. My friend was the one who booked the vacation. She put the whole thing on her credit card because she wanted the card points. I told her because the reservation was booked through a third-party app, the hotel would need the original card used to make the reservation. So she was on the hook to bring her credit card. I have no idea if that is true or not, but it sounded good based on what you all commented, lol. She was not happy that her own greed got her, lol. But at least she brought a credit card. Others mentioned that she was going to sulk. And sulk she did. When we got to the airport, I told her I was not going to spend the vacation in her misery, so let's hash it out right now. She said that my tone was very rude, as if I was accusing her of trying to mooch off of me. She was. I told her to put herself in my shoes. She was deliberately not being responsible and told me to my face I was her backup plan and laughed about it. It made me feel used and put upon. She apologized and I apologized for being so harsh. Some of you said she would try to be content with cutting corners. Cabs were prohibitively expensive on the island and they didn't take credit cards. So, she looked up how to take the local buses. I was fine with that until we waited 45 minutes in the heat for a bus to take us to the mall, island time. Yup, we only took cabs after that. A few mentioned that she would go through her cash in the first 2 days. You were close. 2.5 days. There were several markets with local jewelry and crafts that she absolutely loved, and they only took cash. So she ran through her money rather quickly. She only brought her credit card, not her debit card. So, as someone suggested, I made her Zelle me right then and there the money I took out of the ATM for her. She paid for the exchange and ATM fees. She tried it with the meals. She ordered something big and wanted to split the bill evenly. Normally I would not nitpick about that, but I just didn't want her to feel like she still got one over on me in any way. Since she used her credit card for meals to save the cash she had, I paid what I owed in cash and she paid the rest, her higher portion, with her credit card. Overall, we had a good time. We did a few excursions, had shopping and beach time, and relaxed. She even told me it was a good thing she brought her credit card. Things only got weird when I asked her to Zelle me right then and there at the ATM before I gave her the cash, but she knew why I was being so hard-nosed about it. Thanks for the update. Sounds like you're figured out how to have a good time and keep both of you straight. She's better than me. No way in hell I could enjoy myself with someone after having showed their colors in such a way. I learned a lot from this. I shall put my foot down next time I holiday with friends or family. Awesome update. That said, I wouldn't travel with her again. I wouldn't travel with her again. Absolutely not, lol. My eldest daughter and I took a beach trip. She'd never been to a beach, and we split everything down the middle. It was a good trip. After we got back, my middle daughter complained because you never take me anywhere. She's right, because she would have expected me to pay for everything after agreeing to split the costs. I don't have that kind of money. She has been all over the country multiple times with her friends, so it's not like she can't afford it herself. And when people ask me why I take vacations by myself, here is one of the reasons. People always seem so surprised when I say I'm going off by myself. I've just come to prefer not having to coordinate with others. And I'm very good at planning budget trips. First 9-day trip to London cost me around $2,500. I'd managed to find a RT plane ticket for $500. And stayed in a females-only dorm in a hostel that was in an old Victorian mansion. Most of money went to seeing West End shows. Took the tube everywhere. On the flip side, back in NOV, took trip across Europe via train. 18 days going to London, Paris, Geneva, Milan, Venice and Rome. Nice hotels and good food trip. Yeah. I like planning trips for me. Good for you for not letting her walk all over you. I use the Splitwise app when traveling with friends I can trust to properly settle up. It makes things so easy. My partner went on a trip with a friend and took turns paying. That friend is notoriously cheap. Friend insisted partner owed him $75. When they used to app to figure out who really owed what, turns out that friend actually owed $50. He's never paid. PPL who owe more during a meal then merrily suggests splitting the bill need to rethink their actions. If the other party suggests, that's fine, but not the person who owes more. I hate that. When some people plan to split the bill, they order appetizers, bottles of wine, dessert, expensive meals, etc., thinking everyone else will cover some of it. A couple of times I knew I wouldn't get away with paying for mine separately, so I ordered apps and drinks. I usually don't drink, plus dessert and coffee, because the others did. Then I took my barely touched dinner home with me. I'm not going to get a cheap dinner and drink water, only to have to pay for other people's apps, multiple bottles of wine, and dessert. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.